Have you ever felt an unexplained chill when walking alone at night, or noticed your dog barking at what seems like nothing? Sometimes the world whispers truths that logic can't explain, subtle metaphysical warnings passed down like ancient echoes. In this video, we're diving into 5 eerie yet powerful metaphysical truths you should never ignore. From the simple act of placing a chair in your room to the hidden dangers of whistling after dark, each point is a reminder that life holds mysteries beyond what we see. These aren't just old superstitions, they're cautionary signs rooted in experience, instinct, and something deeper. Whether you believe in the unseen or just enjoy the thrill of mysterious wisdom, these truths will make you think twice about your nightly habits. Stay tuned, stay curious, and remember, some knowledge protects even if we don't fully understand it. Let's explore the unseen side of everyday life together. 1. Never place an empty chair in front of your bed. At first glance, this might seem like a harmless interior design tip, but it carries a much deeper metaphysical meaning rooted in superstition, folklore, and energy awareness. The belief warns against placing an empty chair directly in front of your bed, especially one that stays unoccupied overnight. In many cultures and spiritual traditions, an empty chair facing the bed is seen as an invitation, an open space for energy to settle. The question is, what kind of energy? While it might be benign, it's also said to attract unseen visitors, spirits, or negative energy, especially at night when your defenses are lowered in sleep. Our bedrooms are meant to be sanctuaries of rest, healing, and privacy. An empty chair, left unattended, symbolically represents a seat waiting for someone, and not necessarily someone of this world. This belief also taps into the concept of liminal spaces, areas where the boundaries between physical and metaphysical realms blur. Nighttime, the space between wakefulness and sleep, and the stillness of a room all contribute to this liminality. An empty chair in such a place becomes a focal point, potentially turning into a conduit for energies that don't belong. There are also psychological layers to consider. From a subconscious perspective, seeing a chair pointed at you while you're lying down can invoke a sense of being watched, subtly raising anxiety or disrupting sleep. It might trigger the primal discomfort of unseen surveillance, especially when your guard is down. So what's the practical takeaway? If there's a chair in your room, and especially in front of your bed, use it. Drape a jacket over it, stack some books, or place a pillow on the seat. Doing so symbolically claims the space and closes the invitation. In spiritual terms, claiming your space is a form of protection. It's a way of saying, this is my sanctuary and no energy, seen or unseen, is welcome without my permission. It's a simple act, but in the realm of metaphysics, intent and awareness matter most. What might seem like a superstition at first could, in fact, be a quiet form of spiritual boundary setting. 2. When crossing a bridge with a child at night, remember to call the child's name. Bridges are powerful symbols across cultures. They represent transitions, passageways, and connections between two different realms. In metaphysical thought, especially during nighttime, bridges can become more than just physical structures. They are seen as liminal zones, spaces where the boundaries between worlds become thinner. Children, by their very nature, are more spiritually sensitive and open to unseen energies. They haven't built up the same psychological or spiritual barriers that adults often have. Because of this, it's believed that children are more susceptible to being noticed, influenced, or even led astray by spirits or energies that dwell in these in-between places. Calling a child's name when crossing a bridge at night serves several purposes, both symbolic and protective. From a spiritual perspective, a name is more than just an identifier. In many traditions, a name holds a fragment of the soul. By speaking the child's name, you're reinforcing their presence in this reality, anchoring them to the physical world, and keeping their spiritual essence intact. It's like a reminder to the universe, this soul belongs here with me in the living world. From a psychological angle, hearing their name called out by a trusted adult brings comfort and awareness to the child. Nighttime often amplifies fear and uncertainty. A simple act like calling their name brings them back into the moment, grounding them in safety and familiarity. It strengthens the emotional bond between guardian and child, a metaphysical tether of love and protection. In folklore, there are also tales of spirits who try to lure children away, especially in transitional spaces like bridges. These spirits often appear benign, whispering or calling out softly. The belief is that by calling the child's name first, you assert dominance and remind the spirit and the child of the bond between them and the living world. Practically speaking, it's also a smart safety move. Calling a child's name keeps them alert and focused on you, especially when walking near potentially dangerous terrain like water or narrow paths. So next time you cross a bridge at night with a child, remember this simple yet profound action. Say their name with intention. It's more than just sound. It's a shield, a claim, and a connection that keeps them safe through shadowed passageways. 3. When walking outdoors at night, never whistle. No matter how pleasant it sounds, whistling may seem like a harmless habit, often associated with cheerfulness or passing the time. But when it comes to metaphysical beliefs, especially those rooted in folklore and ancestral warnings, whistling at night is considered an invitation to unseen entities, and not necessarily the friendly kind. Across many cultures, from the Appalachians to indigenous American, Filipino, Japanese, and Eastern European traditions, there's a consistent thread. Whistling in the dark draws attention from spirits or supernatural forces. Nighttime, being a liminal period where the veil between worlds is thinner, already carries heightened metaphysical sensitivity. By whistling, you're emitting a distinct, sharp sound into the silence, effectively signaling that you're present, awake, and available. But why whistling specifically? It's because whistling creates a pure, haunting tone that cuts through the quiet in a way most other sounds don't. It mimics calls, lures, and sometimes even animal cries. In certain belief systems, this sound is thought to mirror the calls of spirits, especially those that are wandering, lost, or malicious. By imitating their voice, unknowingly, you risk engaging them in communication. In Japanese folklore, whistling at night is believed to attract snakes and demons. In some Caribbean and Latin American beliefs, it's said to draw in El Silbón, a ghostly figure who responds to whistles and brings death or misfortune. In rural European legends, spirits that were once human, but are now trapped between realms, are attracted to the distinctive sound of whistling, mistaking it for a call home. There's also a psychological aspect. Whistling in the dark can trick the mind into comfort, but it also indicates a desire to mask unease. When we're alone and vulnerable, our instincts heighten, and we may whistle to fight off fear. But this act can ironically heighten spiritual vulnerability by piercing the natural hush of the night. So what's the wiser practice? When walking at night, move silently and attentively. Let the natural sounds guide your awareness. If you feel the urge to whistle, pause and reflect. Why are you doing it? Are you feeling lonely, afraid, or restless? Recognizing these feelings is healthier than covering them with sound. Remember, silence is sacred. In the stillness of night, it's better to listen than to call out, lest you summon what you never intended to meet. 4. If your dog barks frantically at a spot at night, leave immediately. Dogs have long been seen as guardians not only in the physical world, but also in the spiritual. Their senses, especially hearing and smell, are far more advanced than ours, allowing them to detect subtle changes in the environment, some of which may not be visible or audible to humans. In metaphysical belief systems, this heightened awareness extends into the unseen world. When a dog barks persistently and frantically at nothing visible, especially at night, many traditions advise, do not ignore it. Leave immediately. Night is a time when spiritual activity is believed to be stronger. Darkness symbolizes the unknown, and in this stillness, energies, spirits, or presences that dwell beyond the physical often become more active. If your dog begins to bark at a seemingly empty corner, a patch of woods, or even at a wall or ceiling, it may be reacting to something that exists outside the limits of human perception. Dogs are also considered natural spiritual protectors in many cultures. In ancient Egypt, Anubis, the jackal-headed god, guided souls into the afterlife. In Chinese and Japanese traditions, dogs are believed to ward off evil spirits. But when even a protector senses a threat it can't handle and responds with panic or desperation, it's a sign to respect. The barking isn't just noise, it's a signal, possibly even a warning. There are also modern psychological explanations that enhance rather than refute the metaphysical viewpoint. Animals are known to pick up on subtle vibrations, changes in air pressure, electromagnetic fields, and even the presence of a human or animal long before we do. If a dog reacts fearfully in an otherwise calm environment, it could be sensing a predator, a natural disturbance, or, if you accept the metaphysical view, a spiritual entity. The recommendation to leave immediately isn't rooted in fear, it's about respect and caution. Just as you wouldn't stay in a place where fire alarms were going off without cause, you shouldn't ignore a dog's sudden and intense fear. In metaphysical terms, ignoring these signs isn't bravery, it's recklessness. Trust in the instincts of creatures designed to sense what we cannot. When your dog barks at night with unexplainable urgency, don't argue with the unseen. Leave, ground yourself, and return only when the air feels clear. 5. When planting trees in your yard, never plant just one. On the surface, this may sound like a simple gardening tip or aesthetic preference, but in metaphysical and spiritual traditions, the act of planting a tree carries deep symbolic energy. Trees are not just living organisms. They are often seen as guardians, witnesses, and anchors between the physical and spiritual realms. To plant a single tree alone is to disrupt the natural flow of balance and harmony. That's why this metaphysical truth advises, never plant just one. In many cultures, trees are considered sentient beings, spiritually connected to the earth and sky. They are rooted in the ground yet stretched toward the heavens, acting as bridges between worlds. Planting one tree alone is thought to invite loneliness, stagnation, or even draw unbalanced energy to your space. Just as no human thrives in complete isolation, neither should a tree, which is a symbolic extension of life energy. When you plant trees in pairs or groups, you're creating balance, both physically and spiritually. In Feng Shui, trees and plants are considered tools for manipulating qi, or life force energy. A solitary tree can create energetic dead zones or draw energy inward, leading to blocked pathways or emotional heaviness in the environment. Multiple trees, however, circulate and balance energy, promoting prosperity, vitality, and harmony in the home and family. There are also folklore-based superstitions that support this belief. In some Eastern European and South Asian traditions, planting a single tree in a yard is said to attract wandering spirits, particularly those seeking a companion or a place to rest. Since the tree is alone, it's symbolically open and therefore more likely to act as a beacon for entities that don't belong in your home space. In contrast, planting trees in groups creates a network of protection, a natural barrier that keeps spiritual balance intact. Psychologically, a group of trees adds to a sense of security and abundance, while a single tree, especially in a large open space, can feel exposed or eerily solitary. Our subconscious picks up on these cues, often without our awareness, affecting how we feel in our environment. So when planting trees, do it with intention. Choose placement and number not only for shade or aesthetics, but also for energetic harmony. Think of trees as living guardians. They thrive in connection, and through them your home will too. Let your yard reflect the truth that nature teaches us again and again. Life was never meant to stand alone. These 5 metaphysical truths may seem simple, but they echo deep, timeless wisdom about the unseen forces that surround us. Whether grounded in spiritual belief, ancestral caution, or intuitive awareness, each one serves as a gentle reminder. The world is more layered than it appears. By paying attention to subtle signs, like a barking dog, an empty chair, or a lone tree, we begin to live with more intention and respect for the mysteries of existence. So heed these truths, not with fear, but with curiosity and reverence. In honoring them, we protect not only our space, but our spirit as well.